Won't you hold me close? Baby, I'll go wherever you go. Even if it means
Let me put some hot sauce on that thing real quick.
and I don't think of your company, baby. You can't get enough of me. I wait for you to wait for me tonight. Baby, take a hand. I promise we'll be fine. 'Cause baby, I am yours. And baby, you are mine. But baby, trust me again. And baby, we'll be fine. And now she's walking.
Let me put some hot sauce on that thing real quick.
Won't you hold me close? Baby, I'll go wherever you go. Even if it means that I'm on the road. And I don't think of your company, baby. You can't get enough of me. I wait for you to wait for me tonight.
Tremendous call for peace. In martial war times, this is why do Utah Kinoo listen to tarot readers part 1. Listen to reason. This is some of the readers I listen to whom I've been studying this particular spiritual, scientific, occult art from since last September 2021 AD. I have drawn much information about how spirits work in real time with the humans they are incarnated in or not. NOONE science explains and have taught us that spirits are tricky and elusive. Listen to reason. Last but not least, the letter E in the word and name nature symbolizes ether, entirety, energy, Ethiopia, endlessness, eternity, euphoria, ecstasy, ending, education, elimination, elements, equality, emptiness, eggs, emotion, evolution, and also equilibrium as well as enlightenment. Natural ether in the form of reason is the creative energy throughout nature in its entirety, and the word Ethiopian was originated from the word ether, of course. Absolute nature is endlessness in space, matter, and time, in all directions, and eternity and infinity are the other ways of saying it. Undoubtedly, energy is the active ingredients of matter, and it causes euphoria and ecstasy as well as creation and destruction. But energy, especially in the form of spirit beings, can be very tricky. Let it be remembered always and let it be known. Introduction to the Nature Book 1, page 29. Listen to reason. By tricking and elusive, the writer indeed means spirit beings are not human beings and therefore might not do what is expected of them or at the time expected because their nature and purpose might be different from humans. Introduction to the Nature Book 2, page 132 in part. Listen to sound right reason. NOONE science also teaches there are categories of spirits as well. What is a spirit? How does an incarnation take place? According to the ancients, a spirit, good or evil, is conscious gases that can produce spirit gases from blood or water in order to emanate. There are two kinds of spirit, ether and ghosts. St. Matthew 3, chapter 11, verse. And these two forces represent the opposites in the living and dead, black and white, sun and moon, and so on. Whether a spirit is good or evil depends on whom it is for or against. A spirit can be good at one time and evil at another time. It is considered a good spirit to those it is for and an evil spirit to those it is against, regardless of whether it is ether or ghost. Of course, a spirit is good to those it helps and evil to those it harms. Alright, Bible Interpretation Explanation, Book 1, letter R, number 39. Listen to reason. According to the unabridged American English Dictionary, there are two categories of spirit beings. Agatho demons, good spirits, and Kako demons, evil spirits, but the writer adds a third category and calls it Kagatho demons, a combination of the Kako demon and Agatho demon classification, meaning those spirits who are evil and good, or good and evil. One reason for the third category of classification is the fact that all spirit gods and goddesses in the bottom half of the smack circular order have a negative side like everybody and everything else have opposites within themselves. And this means that the Kagatho demon category of spirits can fit into any of the three categories depending on their likes and dislikes, the time and the season and the laws and cycles of nature. However, all spirits are not gods and goddesses, thereby may have to fit into the good or evil classification only, because if a spirit is not a god or goddess, it is a helper spirit who follows orders to do good if the nature of the spirit is good, or follows orders to do evil if the nature of the spirit is evil. Like all intelligent organizations, spirits organization has chain of command, meaning the higher in rank gives orders or commands to the lower in rank. Let it be, remember, always let it be known. Introduction to the Nature of Nature, Book 1, pages 72 and 73. Listen to sound right reason. The spirits that accompany tarot readers in their line of work are helper spirits. Not all tarot readers, but those whom this applies. Listen to reason. Second, the spiritual person is the psyche, the source of whom is the spirit world, because this is the spirit being who comes and possesses the person during his or her gestation period in the mother's womb or at birth, or the person, because spirit beings must transmigrate from one living being to another in order to survive and strive. Your psyche coming to you and connecting with you is like the negative being added to the positive. Your psyche is your overall control because it can interfere with your thinking and your decision making. Usually spirit beings do what is in their best interest for survival, pleasure, and honor, and if what they do is in your best interest too, you are considered blessed or lucky, or both. Let it be known. Transcript audio tape, PDF, page 34. Listen to reason. These tarot readers are indeed blessed and lucky because of direct good advice these helper spirits provide to many human beings. Ether, gas, energy, spirit can be conscious or non-conscious, harmful or helpful depending on the source and purpose, and the source can be natural or artificial. Introduction to the Nature of Nature, Book 1, page 73 in part. Listen to reason. Some people might ask, how does one determine whether a spirit or God is good or evil? A good spirit is evil if it does evil things to you, and an evil spirit is good if it does good things for you. But more specifically, if not precisely, a spirit is good by nature if it strives to attain and maintain justice and equality among individuals and races of individuals, and it is dedicated and obligated by nature to keep natural law in order, effective and morals high. And a spirit being is evil by nature if it encourages and supports strife, violence, one-sided racism, injustice, and equality among individuals, and also races of individuals. Of course, spirit beings are not the same as human beings. Therefore, we human beings should not expect them to have human emotions, human compassion, human reason, human physical feelings, and human views like another human would, because they are conscious ether gases and not flesh and blood. Yet there is something that spirit beings and human beings have very much in common, and that is the pursuit of self-preservation, survival, also well-being, and to spirits, theirs come first, which is only natural. A god or goddess can be physical or spiritual or both, depending on what it is time for and whom it is time for. Let it be remembered always, and let it be known. Introduction to the Nature, Nature, Book 1, pages 76, 77. Listen to sound right reason. These tarot spirit being helpers that Utah Kinoo NoopooH watches on the daily show, they are good by nature and that they support helping humanity. And this is why we, the orbs, guided our nephew Tar to them to receive guidance and aid, the same as us NoopooH receives aid from the helper spirits as well. Let this be known. Listen to reason. Right now, mental energies from the center of all universe orbs are moving more positive towards NoopooH. In addition, the negative force of nature that rule the bottom half of the smack circle order have a positive side as well as a negative side, and that positive side is partial favorable to NoopooH and NOONE. And this fact means that although NoopooH is not spirit beings in the bottom half of the half of the order circle, NoopooH and NOONE have spirit beings aid and support and recognition, because spirit beings know, even though they have created and supported religion for 6,000 years, it is time for us all spirit beings as well as human beings to be taken upward in standards and values and qualities by nine ether mentality, NoopooH, and also nine mind knowledge, NOONE, counterclockwise on the right side of the smack circle of order. Let it be remembered always and known. Introduction to the Nature Book 2. Instead of working with spirits from the left side of the smack circle of order, let them be from the right side of the same circle. The left side spirits let the African race descend into slavery and torture was held in Hades. It now takes the right side spirits of the smack circle of order to help us Ethiopians by race out of captivity and tortures and back to liberation and freedom. Our type of freedom in our own type of society, which is NOONE. Surely those spirits who will work with NoopooH and NOONE for our liberation from adverse force are right side spirits. Ethiopian by race cannot put any confidence in the old gods and goddesses because they let us Africans by race down. Although it was predestined to happen, according to the smack circle of order, let it be known. Transcript audio tape page 27 of the PDF in part. These spirit being helpers of humanity are one form of right side spirits. We, the nine Eden and nine orbs, sent Utah Kinoo NoopooH to learn the difference of reading about helper spirits and experiencing them through tarot readers. The videos that Utah Kinoo NoopooH has been posting on tarot specifically was to test if what we the orbs have said to him will be confirmed, or what the spirits say about what NoopooH, NOONE, and the orbs have spoken, as it should be done in multiple ways. Inspiration and revelations are attributes and results that accompany reason, but they must always be checked out completely and thoroughly by sound right reason for authenticity and reasonability. That is, to see that they are indeed true and make sense like the best kind of the one supreme being for the cycle and season. Introduction to the Nature Book 1, page 8. Listen to reason. Subsequently, laws of nature are determined by instinct and reason, including inspiration and revelation, and as usual, inspiration and revelation must always be checked out by sound right reason to the best of the lawmaker's knowledge and ability for rationality. Also, practicality in accord with the nature of nature. Introduction to the Nature Book 1, page 104. Listen to reason. Reason information is information based upon sound right reason, which includes inspiration and revelation, and can be verified in investigation, examination of all possibilities, and the use of elimination process. Proof reason information is information based upon physical findings and other evidence examples. Reason experience parallels inspiration and revelation and can be verified by the same method used for proof information and reason information. However, like everything else in inspiration and revelation themselves must always be checked out by sound right reason for authenticity, genuineness, and reasonability. Of course, knowledge and ignorance are opposites, just as truth and falsehood, rightness and wrongness, intelligence and stupidity are opposites. So a person has the option of deciding which side he or she will strive to be on and stay on. Having an intelligently open mind indeed will help you know which is which and help you make the right choice. Moreover, the choice between reality and delusion, and likewise reason and deception, let it be remembered always, let it be known. Introduction to the Nature Book 1, pages 109 to 110. 1 John 4:1 says, test the spirits. Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God, for many false prophets have gone out into the world. End quote. Listen to Sound Right Reason. What Noon is saying, you must know what type of spirits to work with as opposed to working with the wrong spirits, such as the ones that are ruling through religion, pantheism, and many other negative anti-right behaviors that they use to control humanity for evil spirit's agenda. Listen to Sound Right Reason. NoopooH has stated in this video that we, the Ethiopian race, must work with right-sided spirits. However, this is only a message that those of us NoopooHs who has made contact with the orbs who control Leviathan, who is all spirits, to send the best spirits to assist us, the Ethiopian race. The readers will understand these books is better if she or he remembers Leviathan is the sun god, earth god, and moon god for mankind. All straight-haired peoples, Leviathan can manifest itself as the sun god at one time, the earth god at another time, and the moon god and still another time. Or it can manifest itself as a combination of two or all three at the same time. Bible Interpretation and Explanation, Book 2, number 16. The secret is this: Leviathan, meaning the animal power of unity and levitation, represents all spirit beings, including all gods and goddesses that exist in the bottom half of the smack circle of order. Introduced to the Nature Book 1, page 161 in part. In other words, the physical sun god is Jutar, Jupiter, Amun, Re, Ra, Ma'at, the judge of all. The physical earth god is Earth, and the physical moon god is the moon. These three orbs have been using Leviathan in the negative against the black race in favor of mankind during evolution. Listen to reason. The Ethiopian race, the African race, was indeed the first human race on planet Earth and was therefore at the top of the world in knowledge and power when evolution began. But since other ethnic races had to have their turn at ruling on planet Earth, this means that the ruling power of the Ethiopian race will have to decrease so that the ruling power of other ethnic races could increase. And the continuation of this process down through evolution meant the bottom of the totem pole of power for the African race at the end of evolution, which is now. So then, whatever mistakes we Africans make as an ethnic race that help cause our descent from ruling power and world respect were predestined by the SMAT circle of order via the negative force of evolution and nature. Let it be remembered, always let it be known. Transcript of audio tape, page 28 through 29 of the PDF. Listen to reason. Since we have little or no control over spirit beings, especially as far as the liberation from the adverse forces is concerned, we let nature take its course with them. In the meantime, however, members of the Ethiopian race should join the promise and covenant made between Afro-Uno and NoopooH that guarantees liberation from enemies of the African race and all who need liberation. If we adhere to nature and reason according to NOONE, the science of positive knowledge and liberation from enemy forces, of course, Afro-Uno was the philosopher, writer, and messenger of NOOPooH, and the covenant agreement for the African race between Afro-Uno and Sound Right Reason, NoopooH, is found in Introduction to the Nature Book 2 on page 236, also written by Afro-Uno. Read or recite this memorandum conversation at least once a day, and its recital daily will lessen your negative psyche more and more until the ruling spirit send you a positive psyche that will help you instead of harm you. Once you let go of the religion of other ethnic races and accept and practice your own spiritual science, your negative psyche may give you a hard time, but it will eventually have to go when a more positive spirit power arises. Let this be remembered, always to be known. Transcript of audio tape, pages 35 to 36. However, since NoopooH's return, Non-Mind has been influencing the orbs to reverse the damage and pull those same evil spirits off us. Listen to reason. Spirit beings can cause accidents, nature disturbance, fighting between individuals, groups of individuals, nations of individuals, and races of individuals, plus other tragedies in order to get the sacrifice they need for survival. But fortunately, there is a positive side. The more positive spirits become because of increase in non-ether energy from the center of the suns into the atmosphere of the planets and satellites as they go upward on the right side of the smack circle of order from rock bottom, point 3 south, see figure 3.6 and 7 in part 2, the less sacrifices spirits will need to survive and have pleasure and honor. Let it be remembered, always let it be known. Introduction to the Nature, Book 1, page 229. There must be someone to point out how to do that by way of physical examples such as these videos. Listen to reason. Your mind and your psyche and your guide, are your guide. Therefore, it is more important and essential that the two be as synchronized and united as possible on the issue as subjects for strong mental as well as spiritual success with your body. If you have a psyche who works constantly against your liberation instead of for it, you have a problem like most members of the Ethiopian race have, and this is why we are still in captivity mentally, spiritually, and physically, with evil spells and also curses still keeping us powerless with division and in ignorance. It is difficult, if not impossible, for us to control spirit beings because they are of a different world with different thinking and different motives. Are of a different world with different thinking and different motives from that of most humans, except the survival factor. We all, spirits and humans alike, strive to survive, and it is so easy for spirit beings to take advantage of human beings. Moreover, what spirit beings require for doing us favors or benefits are sacrifices of various kinds, and NOOPooH does not deal in physical sacrifices. NOOPooH leaves physical sacrifices to the spirit beings in their world. Nonetheless, spirit beings are obligated by nature to aid and abet NOOPooH and NOONE in accord with the Smatsugo order and its requirements. Let it be known. Transcribable audio tape, page 35. Listen to sound right reason. At no point we NOOPooH never stated in nature books that humans, especially NOONABOOs, followers of NOONE science, to not work with your personal psyche spirit in accord with the instructions we NOOPooH gave Afro Uno. The only thing we NOOPooH don't do is participate in spirit beings' request of harming people, places, and things. Jutha Kinoo Uno NOOPooH's experimenting with tarot readers is what he's supposed to do as an Ethiopian scientist to see what is true from false. Listen to reason. Nonetheless, sound right reason is the key to the correctness of all three categories of correct information, because all correct information must indeed thoroughly and completely pass the test of sound right reason, and that is being mentally checked out by the best mind without having pieces of the truth puzzle that do not neatly fit into the puzzle of knowledge. To put it another way, without sound right reason, one would not really know that correct information is correct. Sound right reason, NOOPooH, non-reason, positive reason, extended reason, as well as the best mind uses all practical means possible, including investigation, examination, parallels, geometric figures, evidence, example, experience, inspiration, revelation, and experimentation when possible, in order to reach binding conclusions. Sound right reason, by definition, is non-ether mind, concentrated, profound, rational thoughts and irrefutable conclusions in the science of natural law and order, inspiration and revelation, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, called intelligence and intellect. Sound right reason is NOOPooH, the original self of science, and NOOPooH is plural and power and purpose. Let it be remembered, always let it be known. Introduction to the Nature Book 1, page 110. Let us NOOPooH remind you, Jutha Kinoo Uno NOOPooH's sole purpose of going to tarot readers was based on personal events that took him on another journey. He needed in order to show how NOONE is all correct information in the long run. Nothing Jutha Kinoo Uno NOOPooH does that he puts into the public is an accident, gimmick, or confusion. Remember this well. Let us not go into tarot as a word. 1590s from French, tarot, from Old Italian tarucci, singular, tarocco, a word of unknown origin, perhaps from Arabic tahara. He rejected, put aside, originally an everyday game, dick in much Europe, though not in Britain. Their occult and fortune-telling use seems to date from the late 1800s and became popular in England 20th century. Tarot games seem to have originated among aristocrats in northern Italy in early 15th century. By early 16th century, tarucci had emerged in Italian as the name of the special cards, and by extension the whole pack, whence French word, German tarot, etc. The tarots are thus, strictly speaking, the 22 figure cards added to the 57 card suit packs. Tarot is defined in etymology, dealt in the occult, and fortune telling. Let's define occult. Occult is secret, not divulged, from French occult, directly from Latin. Occult is hidden, concealed, secret. Past participle of occulare, cover, over, conceal, from assimilated form of over, plus verb related to celerity, hide, to cover, conceal, save, meaning not apprehended by the mind. Beyond the range of understanding is from 1540. The association with the supernatural sciences, magic, alchemy, astrology, dates from 1630. A verb occult, to keep, secret, conceal. 1500 for Latin occultare is obsolete. Listen to sound right reason. Firstly, those tarot readers in the 1500s, etc., dealt in the occult, hidden sciences. This is a NoopooH feature. Therefore, Noon represents knowledge and life. NoopooH makes knowledge with explanation available to all who seek it and desire it. But NoopooH deals in the hidden mystery organization and secret societies to hide knowledge from those who need it most. And oftentimes what the persons are hiding are simply allegories and half truths anyway. Let it be remembered always and let it be known. Introduction to the Nature of Nature, Book 1, pages 222 to 223. Listen to sound right reason. Utah Kinoo NoopooH isn't dealing in the occult tarot. It's not dealing in the occult tarot, which those cards and spirits connected to those cards are based on demonic entities. Here are some examples. This is a occult tarot deck. And see, these some of the cards. You got what? Baphomet, Beelzebub, Lucifer, Moloch, Azazel. These are some of the demonic entities that's associated with this type of deck. Alright, you got a couple of more. This one is say Lucifuge. This is Baal, Agaris, Visaggio, and Gamgan, I think. These are just some of the cards from that particular deck. And this is the guy who created those.
Hello, my name is Travis McHenry, and today I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on how to read with the Demon Possessed Tarot. So the Demon Possessed Tarot is a deck of 78 tarot cards that I created, where each tarot card is paired to one of the demons of the Goetia, 72 Goetic demons. And in addition to the 72, I've also conjured up 6 Grand Princes of Hell that have been scattered throughout the cards. Because they tend to be more powerful entities, I've given them, assigned them to the more powerful tarot cards. So this is the deck. This is what it looks like. The front card there happens to be Lucifuge Rofocal. And on the back, every card has got the an incantation, Solomon's incantation to actually summon the demons, as well as the secret sigil of Solomon that is designed to keep the demons on the card. So the card itself, if you follow the Kickstarter, you sort of already have an idea for what the cards themselves are about. But many people have asked me how to actually do a reading with them. Well, because every card is linked to a tarot card, the name of the tarot card is right there on the actual card. So for example, Lucifuge Rofocal is the Ace of Pentacles. So if you want to do just a basic reading for tarot purposes, you can do that, and this deck will work very well for that. And I've done those kind of readings for myself, I've done them for my friends. But if you want to sort of get the most out of the deck and kick it up an extra notch, you can also do what I call the rites of the demon, or the ritual of the demon. And this is really what the cards were designed for when I made them. So first you got to think about, what do you want? What do you want to get out of this sort of kind of a ritual reading? And anything you can imagine is something that you can find in this deck that a demon can give you. So money, love, success in business, promotions at work, to destroy your enemies, and the list goes on and on.
All right. So let's continue. Secondly, these tarot readers, Juta, Kinoo, are in contact with use various decks that have nothing in common with the occult, used hundreds of years ago. Listen to Sound Right Reason NoopooH. Just because the word occult is used doesn't make it automatically bad. Listen to Reason 9 Ether and 9 Reason NoopooH. Noose is the first emanation, primary creator for the one supreme being, eternal, infinite, unique, absolute almighty nature. And 6 Reason and 6 Ether NoopooH is the second emanation, the secondary evolutionary creator, who is called Logos by occult writers and philosophers of mythology and theology. Introduction to the Nature, Book 1, page 72. Listen to Sound Right Reason listen to Sound Right Reason NoopooH. Here's 6 Reason gamma radiation NoopooH is called occult, which are the life of death gases. Logos means words in general. And also, mythology is considered the occult. And you can find that anywhere on the net these days. Logos, 1580 is the divine word, second person of the Christian Trinity from Greek logos, word, speech, statement, discourse, also a computation, account, also reason, judgment, understanding. Logos suffix from the word leg, to collect, gather, with derivative, meaning to speak, or notion of, to pick out words. The Greek word was used by Neoplatonists in metaphysical and theological senses involving notions of both reason and words, and subsequently picked up by New Testament writers. Just speaking in any language is occult, because languages create confusion by 6 Reason, which is what NoopooH does naturally. Remember this well. Another thing to remember is what the Sesh Meduneta means, divine words of God. Divine word. The ancient Egyptian called their writing system Meduneta, pronounced Meduneta, which means God's word or divine word. Scholars and black studies often use the term Meduneta to refer to the ancient Egyptian language in all periods, and they therefore may use the term interchangeably with hieroglyphics. We, NoopooH, the 9 Oars, 9 Ennead, are all surrounded by 6 Ether logos. Since many ignorant, false, pro-black, one-sided racists believe the tarot cards came from Europe or Italy, shows you they have no real research skills. All things that humans engage in came from 6 Ether in one form or another until February 5th, 1962 AD, starting with Afro Unu, Jipu, and Sipu, who were the rebirth of Ethiopian nine-mind intelligence in human form. This has been continuing the African race. Juta, Kinoo, NoopooH is just one. We, the Ennead and nine-mind NoopooH, decided to make him sing so you all can have a direction to look in. Let this be known. Listen to reason, like the angles, pyramid alphabet, the 10 numerals, the 1 cipher, and 9 digits can likewise be pronounced from the union square. This writer will now give you a demonstration of both the angles, alphabet, and numbers as follows. So as you can see, is A through the Ankh, and then 0 or the cipher to number 9. Alright? The first 27 letters of this illustration are pyramids or angles alphabet, completed with the Ethiopian Egyptian Ankh as the 27 letter, and of course the last 10 figures of this demonstration are the cipher and 9 numbers of Nubian origin, which our Nubian ancestors used to build the pyramids. The Ethiopian Egyptian Ankh is the 27 letter of the pyramid alphabet, and it completes the alphabet. This occult symbol, the Ankh, as its top part in the form of the square like the base of the pyramid, is indeed the skeleton key, the master key to the building of the pyramids, and symbolic access to the powers of the spirit dead for the kings and queens of Africa during the evolutionary cycle up to the early part of the moon cycle of the evolutionary cycle. Let it be remembered, always let it be known. Introduction to the Nature, Book 1, page 158 to 159. Listen to Sound Right Reason NoopooH. Here, Afro Unu made it known that the beloved Ankh by the world was used to contact the dead inside the pyramids, yet the ignorant among you would try to overlook that to make tarot readers look bad. Do not forget that all spirits are scientifically dead today and back then. This includes this including the gods and goddesses of antiquity. Every time you call on anything in the bottom half is dead except us, NOOPooH. We are the life of life and are the true resurrectors of almighty nature, let it be known. Therefore, opposites, since science, by definition, which includes the occult science, is the creativity, destructivity, or other activity by the higher or highest powers of nature. Science is to the degree that on the level that human beings or other animals cannot achieve, though brain newts, reason, and spirit beings can. NOONE, the science of all the worlds and cosmology of the universe, is the positive science of the supreme opposites and all other opposites in nature from the correct information in the positive standpoint. Let it be, remember always, and let it be known. Introduction to the Nature of Nature, Book 1, pages 237, 238. Listen to Sound Right Reason, NOOPooH. According to the Coastal Board, we NOOPooH as brain newts and NOONE science are the positive side of the occult, because no human could manifest NOONE science without us NOOPooH, and also the whole world didn't know or remembered who we NOOPooH were, because NOOPooH, our negative opposite, destroyed and hidden all possible evidence of us NOOPooH and made humanity ignorant and mentally dead as were predestined to by the smack circle order. Let this be known. This is part 1 of why Kinoo NOOPooH listens to tarot readers. True mental cosmos, peace, and martial war times.
Won't you hold me close? Baby, I'll go wherever you go. Even if it means
Let me
that
put some
I'm
hot
not
sauce on
the
that thing
one.
real quick.
And I don't think I got company, baby. You can't get enough of me. I wait for you to wait for me tonight.